first in chat. Okay. I'm still getting some stuff put together, so give me just a little bit to figure out what to do with my life, yeah. Our heater's fixed, and we didn't die. Woo woo! Okay, there we go, and I've got it put over into live chat. Can you hear me okay? How's it going? We'll see. We'll see if it works. Hey Kelly, hey Elijah. How are all y'all doing today? Time to hydrate. Dude, okay, so a week ago today, hey Gypsy, a week ago today, the furnace started making sounded like a dishwasher going. So Saturday morning, we called the repairman because, oh, right on. Well, I thought you just liked what I had going on. Well, thanks anyhow. I like this shirt too. It's by Opal Moon Dyes. I really enjoy their stuff. I wish I weren't quite such a beefcake because I don't much care for sleeves and want to hide the guns. But no, mostly it's because my armpits will get mad and eat the sleeves if they're not long enough. But it's fine. Yeah, Friday, way past business hours, so we couldn't call a repair person on Friday. So Saturday morning, first thing, we called, had to leave a voicemail because they didn't open up back till Monday, and we were calling the same place that fixed our furnace last time when, I don't know, something corroded on something, and we just needed it fixed, and they took good care of us. Called them. They came in on Monday, so all weekend, we're just hearing the furnace do, like, we went into the basement and checked it out ourselves, and it's like we don't know anything about furnaces, but there weren't any like wild animals or, you know, anything like that that was obvious to us. So it was cold, so we kept the heater going. Turns out, and just so everything is okay, turns out our furnace has 5 burners. And one of those burners was not, like, something went wrong with it, and it was no longer blowing that blue propane flame. It was just fire. So, like, something went wrong and the mix wasn't right. So it was just big, billowy, puffy, like on my torch, I'd call it a puffy flame. And then something had gone wrong with, like, I guess maybe that melted part of the blower. So now that was kind of feeding air back into the furnace itself instead of where it was supposed to go through before it came up into the vents to, you know, heat the house. So it was blowing the fire back in, plus it was leaking gas. Natural gas. Yay! Fortunately, our house is 120 years old and is drafty AF. Like, it's bad. But in this case, it's really good because we didn't die. Like, we could have gotten carbon monoxide poisoning, but we didn't. And the house could have burnt down, but it didn't. So we just had to buy a new furnace, which we lived to complain about it. And that's a good start. So, yeah, we are super very grateful right now that things did not go worse than what they did. But also, ouch, we had to buy a new furnace. That's okay, I guess. Like, anyways, yeah, yee, no explosions, right? I don't even know, you guys. Like, what the heck? It's always something. It's always something. Hey, Patty. Been a long time. It has been. How have you been? Sorry, and I'm like mega dehydrated, so I'm gonna be chug-lugging and running to the bathroom a bunch. Been watching your tutorials, so much inspiration. Ah, well, hey, Monica. I'm so glad that we can be helpful to you. Yep, that's good. Won't be freezing anymore. It's actually a smaller furnace, so our gas bill should hopefully go down, but it will still more or less keep the house equally drafty. So I had to go to the ER because my foot is swollen. Oh no, Elijah, I hope you're okay. Hey, Brandy. It's always something for sure, right, Pro? Keep on keeping on. That's all we can do. Ooh, a new AC unit is gonna 18. Dang, girl. Dang. Hey, Christine. The old one almost made it to drinking age. Oh, well, that's fair. Yeah, our furnace was, I think, had been installed in 2005. I don't know if it... Oh, it was made in 2007? Why do I keep thinking 2005? I don't know either. It was 2007. So, I mean, that's all right. New furnace runs cheaper. Hopefully. That's what we're hoping. Gotcha. That makes sense. But also, I don't know if Fred got it used or if it came with the house or how many times it had been submerged during flooding. Like, I don't know. We got lucky though. We're a bunch of lucky ducks. So, your spirits are so high today. Love to see that. Oh, well, I'm glad to. Y'all, I can do this without coughing. La 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 la. Like, I can talk. And I haven't really talked to anybody since last time I tried talking to y'all, and I still couldn't really talk yet. So, yeah, so I'm just like, okay, so today, and I just looked over at the, hold on, why do you do this? We're going to be working on just a mess of stuff, really. Let me get the tripod situated. Get it situated. So we have made no inventory this week, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty. What?
Monday.
Did we?
I
That was this week, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay. We haven't made any inventory since Monday, which feels like a week ago. It's been a heck of a month this week. Is basically the general consensus on that one. Okay. And we also just spent the past like 3 days shooting new vlog footage. So we should have some homesteading vlog updates coming to the Boxster vlog before hell freezes over. So let's go ahead and get the camera turned around. Hopefully the loud furnace blower noises, hopefully it'll get warmer and we won't have to hear the furnace anymore. But thank you guys for joining me here today. Let's go ahead and get started. Hey Laura, how's it going? So I was going to try to do some herringbone stuff because, well, we haven't done any herringbone stuff in a minute. We got, after last week's live stream, I was like, we should make a bunch of these. So I made just a whole mess of 5-point pulse stars. And Randy made a whole mess of half Persian 3-in-1 bracelets out of just aluminum, both bright and anodized. And then I was following along with some Oksana Crafts tutorials. And of course I'm terrible at following directions. So they came out a little different, but I love it. Like, I really like this one. Like, I wish I could get my hands on some, 20 or 21 gauge square, because I think that's what Oksana uses in a lot of her tutorials. I just don't want it to be able to pop out the top. There we go. That's much more stable, I think. But I don't know, I kind of like it with the 18 gauge too. I like it with the 18 gauge until I get up at the top and I need to do stuff with all these little swirlies. Hey Denise, I'm having a really good day. But this one I'm like in love with. And these are just some labs that we plucked from our shop. So keep an eye out for our next shop update for some sick juicy cabs. So chunk them into the done pile. Now also I wanted to show you guys, this is the wood cut that we've been working with or sending out so far in March's kits, and it comes with its own little oblate, like a wooden part, Like, it's not a perfect circle, which I didn't realize, but that's fine. And I thought that these would be really cool for doing like fractal wrap stuff on, but I kind of wanted to shave it down a little bit with a file and seal it, paint it with graphite paint, electroform it, and then wire wrap it. Like, I thought that would be super cool. So if y'all are interested in making something like that today, let me know. It helps so much when y'all do the @YvonneWilliams because it highlights your comment in orange. I am such a fan too, and I'm so low on it. Like, well, I bet I could do some of these with round too, though. Try to stretch that square wire just a little further. So yeah, I'm gonna start off with just doing a few Oksana style pendants. Which, if y'all haven't followed along with her tutorials, I really recommend doing that because she is just the greatest. But I even like how the back on this one came out. Hey Gary, hey Anne Marie. She says, I'm excited. It's the first time I was able to watch a live stream. Oh no! Well, I'm glad you were able to make it. I'm just a potato though. I'm glad you like our work. But no, pedestals are for falling off of. We're just buddies hanging out crafting. What? Sabea says my YouTube has started highlighting it gray. Yeah, I don't like it orange. I don't notice gray. I need something that's like, ah. Oh, well, thanks, Jenny. Okay. So let's rummage. Because Randy hides some cabs in here for me to wrap. Ooh, let's wrap this one. That is my favorite. He'll hide some cabs. And then whenever I find them, I'm like, ee! It's like little treasures. And it's been such a beautiful, rainy spring day. Well, not quite spring yet, but it's getting there. I picked a bouquet of... bouquet is a strong word. Okay, and it's actually in timeout. So you can actually see that's the bouquet that I picked. But I was having a sneezing fit so bad I couldn't do anything. But the hyacinths, they're like my favorite smell. But they're too strong to have in the house because, like, I guess I'm allergic to them now. Oh no, I just noticed this one's tip is chipped. So I will actually try doing this one in like polymer clay or something. So let's see, that one's broken, that one's broken. Well, that's super mega pretty. Let's wrap that one. Ooh, and then I got this one. I want to start with something easy, and the teardrops are just really easy, I think. So I'm going to do the teardrop first. Ooh, okay. Sherry says, would totally love to see the wood process thing you just described. Now I don't have my electroforming stuff set up so far, but that doesn't mean that I could do one without all of the additional work. Where is a round cab? Dun, dun. Ooh, oh my gosh. Oh, so pretty. Ah! Also so pretty. Beep boop. Doop, doop, doop. Boop, boop. Oh, this is one of Rebel Wolves. Oh, it's going to be just a little too large, I think. Not today. I'm going to go grab one out of our shop. found one that I like. And now I'm looking for adventure. Hey Bethy, how's it going? Hey Kiwi. I love my Electroform pendant from you. I'd like to see the wood like you suggested. Right on. We'll do a prototype. So, whoop. And then I'll put together a tutorial for this. Oh my gosh. It's getting to be that time where I need to go through and tidy up the craft room because it's getting unruly. Okay, so on the wooden pieces like this, and if you guys are in our Happy Crafter Club, like whether it's $10 or $50, y'all get some of these, some of our wood cuts every month. And they can totally be used as is, or you can come through. This is just a file. And I am just angling down by pressing away from me. Also, like an emery board or something would work really well. And I like to just come through, especially if it's a piece that's going to be electroformed or painted or something, to give it a little bit more depth and dimension. Actually, sandpaper would work significantly better on this, but electroforming is like electroplating on steroids. So what we do is I set up, depending on if you're doing it with silver, gold, nickel, or copper. I use copper, so I use a copper nitride solution. Like if you were electroforming in silver, you would use a silver nitride solution. So it's an acidic solution with this metal suspended in it. And you'll have, like, let's say this is our piece, and it'll have a wire that's connected to this like thing that makes electricity go. What's it called? There's a word for it. And then you have the other end that you clip to like a sheet or tube of pure copper. Again, if you're doing silver, you would clip it to silver, submerge it enough into the liquid that when the electricity passes from point A to point B, it will take some of that metal with it and deposit it on the surface of your piece. Now, you couldn't just dip in bare naked wood. You'd need to cover it in something like either copper paint or graphite, just something that is conductive. And that way it will start accumulating a layer of copper on the surface. And if you do just a small amount, it's just considered electroplating. But if you do a substantial amount, you can even, I wish I could, it's not a converter, that's not the correct term at all, but it's just, it's like electrodes. Hey, Holly. I can't remember the name of the thing, but it makes a consistent, controllable electrical current that with electroforming, you can mess with that a little bit and get different results. So you could do it and get a very, very smooth electroform. You could crank it, up a bit, I think, and it would accumulate faster. So it would start getting these cool little like coral-like growths coming off of it. And so those things, like that tweaking of the electrical current, can be an art form in and of itself. And then you can file and polish and antique and oxidize and all sorts of stuff. So Jason Welsh. I'm so bad at names, y'all. I don't know. We actually made some tutorials about electroforming, and Past Vaughn is a lot more knowledgeable about it because it's been about a year since I've done any sort of electroforming because I'd completely boogered up my setup and just wasn't able to get anything to replace it. A voltage regulator? Yeah. Pretty sure that's what it is, at least. How you doing, Gary? But yeah, and I'd take you back there and show you, but it's an absolute freaking nightmare. Actually, you know what? Shame can't grow where you shine a light on it. I'm gonna go show you all my absolute freaking disaster of an electroforming setup. So get ready to judge me really hard. Randy says, "Oh yeah." Huh?
Oh yeah, I'm doing that now.
You're judging me?
Oh
So this is my paint closet that actually hope to turn back into a pantry. But so this is like the thing, like, and it had spilled copper nitrate everywhere, and but yeah, it's that thing. What are you? But you go like woo, woo, on the knobs. And oh, I actually, where's that book? I don't know where anything is in this house anymore. Oh no. But yeah, I needed to filter what I was able to salvage from it. So if you're ever in my house, don't drink the blue Kool-Aid. The forbidden Kool-Aid. Here it is. Jason Welsh. This is the book that I'm constantly, how do we not have a tripod back here? Purchase the common items. Well, come on, dude. What's the name of the thing? Well, I highly recommend getting this book because it's hook up everything. I don't know. Electrolysis. It's not quite, but yeah, so it's a disaster. I need to fix it. That's the baking soda, all the liquid dried up out of it. But I made some really cool soda crystals. Don't eat them. But yeah, so hey Wandy.
You did not put the jar of syrup back there, did you?
Next to a bunch of chemicals?
Yeah.
I sure did. That's why we don't let children in our house, is because they will die. Like, not that we're like murderers or anything, but it's, I put the sugar-free syrup next to the like sunshine burnishing compound, and I'm working on it. It's a work in progress. So yeah, like anybody who comes into our house has to like sign an agreement that we are not held responsible for if they get poisoned. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep filing these petals. If I had like an emery board or something, this would be significantly faster. Anne says, I don't trust tidy artists. That's fair. But I hope to be, I aspire to be tidy one day because I can think more clearly. I mean, being organized is not my natural state of being, but I experienced it once for a brief moment. Everything was where it went. And I've been chasing that dragon ever since. The warehouse drive, right? I know I'm trying to normalize being an absolute gremlin potato of a human being. So, Better Homes and Gardens has no place here. Yeah, same Holly. And Randy, technically that's where the syrup goes. It's now the chemical that's in the wrong place. Because I'm turning that back into a pantry shelf. I tried being organized and I can remember where it was when it was messy. Oh no! Yeah, that's a struggle too. I still haven't found that stinking moon stamp that I was trying to find the other couple live streams ago. Okay. So I know this probably looks like I'm not doing a whole lot, but that little bit of tapering on the edge can really go a long way. So, and I will definitely sand it more before actually electroforming it. All ye who enter here, abandon all hope. Yes. Okay, where is... We could do it with some 26 gauge, but I want to try super juicy. Where is it at? Here we have, it says 18 gauge. I want the 16 gauge. Okay, 16 gauge on a wire. I get this stuff from Michael's, but Parawire also has aluminum like this that's really good. Next live stream, how to make a moon stamp, right? Excuse me. Okay, I'm just snipping off the little twist tie parts. I will not just throw trash all over my work surface. Oh, quiet. Hey, Misha, how's it going? I fit all my craft supplies in a box. Please stop calling our house a box. Oh, April. That's awesome. Okay, so first off, I want to find out which is the best angle for this lab. Definitely right there. Yep, okay. And I'm going to start with just extending past where it needs to be. I'm actually going to do a spiral. Hey, Pam, how's it going? Hey, Laverne, how are you doing today? I'm glad you were able to join us. Hey, Patio. Yeah, just making a little spiral. And you could totally use like a touch of glue or something to hold this into place. I'm not going to because I'm going to be disassembling this to use it to electroform. So let's pretend like we already did the electroforming. And then I'm going to place that there, hold that down with my finger. And then I want to bring this over to like there. And I'm just using the petals to hold the wire in place. So now we'll come through there and layer there. And this 18 gauge aluminum is so soft and so accommodating and supple. So we're just coming around town. So it's like that string art style jewelry. Okay, and so from here, I'm going to bring it out a little bit further past the edge. And you could do this with gears, with anything flower shaped, anything that's got enough tooth to it. You can do this. So I'm actually going to take this and bring it around and hook it through the far side before cinching in a bit. And I'm going to leave that like that for just a little bit because I want to try smushing with my fingers, just pushing the wire a little closer to the edge. We don't want to push it off the edge. I just want to condense the pattern down. Hey, Comatose, how's it going? And so this is it with 16 gauge, which this is American wire gauge. So just for being specific. And that gets a very different look than if we were to do like say, because you can tighten it down still by just using the tip of your pliers. Coming in, doing a smush. Just in about the center of the wire and pressing down. And then we can come around to the front. I'm actually going to use just my mandrel here for this one. Oh, we're doing real good. You're not too late. I was running late today too. And you can come in and just here where there's like a bit of space. I'm going to take it and I'm going to press in. And I'm going to skip one and I'm going to press in. I'm going to skip one and I'm going to press in. I'm going to skip one and I'm going to fit that in there and then press in. And now from here, that's why I like doing test pieces too. We can, if you're putting your pliers in, you want to have one nose in that space where we just had the mandrel, and then I'm going to boop, bend it just a bit, and then change the sides and bend it just a bit. And so do you see how it made it be a little bit more like boop? So we're going to do that same thing right here. Do that little bit of a bend. Do it on the other side. Boop. Oh no, that made it come down like way far. That's not what I wanted at all. That's fine. It'll be fine. Coming in, doing a boop. Coming in, doing a boop. Come in, do a boop. Come in, do a boop. So you can get some interesting designs sometimes depending on how many pedals that you have or if it's on a gear. And so now, since this is just a practice piece anyways, I'm going to take it right there and go like boop. I'm going to take it and go like boop. Boop and boop. Boop and boop. And this will be our last one. Boop and boop. I like that a lot. All right, on. Hey, Ross, how are you doing? Boop is definitely a technical term. One of the most technical terms, actually. So if you'll take a mental picture of that, we are now going to undo it and do the same thing, but with a, well, let's try the 26 gauge, because that will give us a completely different result.
Well, hey, before you take it apart.
Yeah?
You already have. Never mind.
What's up?
Nothing.
Well, what's the idea?
I was going to give you another one.
Oh. That would have been a good idea. Ooh, it would, Sabea. That'd be beautiful. Now I had to go through and snip all the wires on the back to get it to come apart like that, but that's okay. Hey, Michelle, how's it going? Hey, Wanda. Okay, so now we'll try with this 26 gauge. That is being unruly. There we go. And now we'll do the same exact thing, more or less. Except for I'm not really going to make a spiral on the tip of this first. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wires getting kinky on me. 8. And so there you can see this is a much more delicate look. I'm going to bring that across and snip. All right, on. It's been a beautiful day here too, nice and rainy. And now I'm just going to bring this through, and I kind of just tie the wire off onto itself. And then from there we could make like a little spiral. So this, if you have something to lash the stone to, you can do a fractal wrap like this on literally anything. Like, it's so versatile. Like, you can do it on just about anything, and you can do it with any wire size. Oops. So, because we could have gone through and done a second layer as well. And so now from there, I could take this and just spiral it in enough to tuck it off to the side. And we may, if we're electroforming this, do an initial electroforming on the wood piece, attach this, use a bare copper wire, and then electroform it further and see how the copper might grow on those wires. Oh, wow. Well, thanks, Laverne. And the nice part about it is if you're using a round stone, you can still tweak the stone around a little bit. But yeah, so a very, very different look with the 26 gauge wire versus the 16 gauge. And what's more is I am pressing, and this is in there. Like, okay, I'm gonna see if I can break it just to see how much pressure. Okay, no, that's gonna bend my nail back. So that's in there. No glue, nothing. Hey, Pro, how's it going? So, yeah. So if you guys are in our Happy Crafter Club, you should have been getting this sunflower in your subscription box. And then also, I want to see something. If I had made it a bit smaller, I'd have been able to just cram the wood back in. And that's something too that if in your kit, the glass cabs that we make and send out might be quite small, in which case you would just leave this in there. Did you bring me another one, Randy?
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah.
I'll show you real quick to demonstrate how you could do it with a small stone. They're all wrapped, I think. On the table.
Which table?
The black one. In the bin, I think. Found them?
Yeah.
Right on. You can purchase the kit on our website, backtoearthcreations.com. Thank you, baby. On our, I can actually show y'all. Okay, so on the video, if you come in and click down, then, oh, I really need to update the links. You can go to backtoearthcreations.com. That's our website. And you can click shop, and it would be craft materials, and then you can go to kits and boxes, and that's our small booty box, medium booty box, large, extra large, and jumbo, which we actually have a video tour of what you can expect in each of those as of October 2021, because we started adding more stuff at that point. Or you can click join our club, and if you join the 10, 20, 30, 40, or 50 monthly subscription, then we actually cover the shipping to send you your kit every month. Whereas if you go through on the website, it still charges you shipping. And currently we are still not doing international shipping. Hey, Erin, how's it going? Okay, so this is how yours would look. We wrap them in their little things so that you can open it. The tissue paper is fully compostable. Okay, so you pull your... So if you have a small cab, we can still wrap it. Now this one I will set with just a touch of glue because it's just going to be wiggling around everywhere. And this is a weird all-in-one glue that I'm trying out as an alternative to E6000 because I cannot stand the way E6000 smells. So just using a bit of glue to hold the wood cut in place. And then we're going to do just a bit of glue to hold the cab in place, which this is one of our smaller fused glass cabochons. Is the size of the box or the size of the booty? All of the boxes are actually the same size. It's how much booty's in the box. Right on. I really like their fabric glue, and I liked this for making miniatures, but I haven't tried it in jewelry. But it's on there. Pretty good. So now from here, I'm going to try the same 26 gauge wire. And I'm just going to lay it across with some extra. Well, it'll still slide, but at least it's tacking it on there. And there's 1, 2, 3. Trying to not let it slide around too much. 4. And you just repeat that pattern of just putting some wire through the spaces on the flower. And then so we were doing, normally I would have come here, so I'm going to try coming here. No, we'll go back up there and then go, that's too far, isn't it? Let's just double it up, see what happens. Looks like I skipped one. Whoopsie. Okay, coming through there. There, here we go. Nope, didn't go back far enough. Did I just skip that one initially entirely? Seems like I did, so I'll just do 2. It's all made up and the rules don't matter and the points don't count. So yeah, so from here we would take it and just the same, Beth. How do you electroform something and why would you do it? I'm actually going to take down this. Let me finish binding this off real quick. Anytime that I use glue in jewelry, I try to make sure that I'm no way relying on the glue. Like I want things to be as secure as possible, and then the glue is there just for extra measure. So the most precarious thing we make is our chainmail bezels, where we do use the glue to secure the backs, but we try to make the bezels to where they're holding on pretty well anyways. And we've never really had any problems so long as we don't try to make it load bearing. Because we had done a few costume pieces where they incorporated like bezels. That's the one I want to be pulling on. Here we go. Where they incorporated those chainmail bezels, but it was them all strung into a row as a belt. So like if you bend over while wearing it and it puts pressure on it, it'll pop the baubles out. So once we learned that, we just figured out how to bypass it. So yeah, again, just, and this is actually a really great way to do, like let's say if you have a client or you yourself have metal allergies, you could do this and then cover the back in polymer clay, or you could glue on some leatherette or leather or felt and back it the way that you would like bead embroidered stuff. And that way there's no metal at all. I mean, the parawire holds up exceptionally well and doesn't have any nickel or anything in it. And this is enameled. It's their craft wire, non-tarnished, so you don't even have to worry about it turning you green. But if you wanted that cool, oh, I skipped one. I'm so bad at this. Hey, Yvette, how's it going? But yeah, so that's another way that you can go about wrapping it if you have a very small stone that doesn't fill up that kind of center void. This same thing I do like to do on these mandalas as well. That was sent out in some of our other booty boxes for our Happy Crafter Club. Okay. What are we doing? I was going to demonstrate something. One of y'all had asked something. Oh, yeah. I'm going to take this necklace down and I'm going to show you what I like to use electroforming for. So, oh, and I have this as an example too. So this is a piece that, this is actually an earring display that I sculpted the base out of epoxy sculpt and put some crystals and broken glass beads and other things, and then did a really like pokey, gnarly, trying to get it to look like moss growth, like for the electroforming. And so you can see how it built up the copper here on the copper core wire. Now that was a pretty messy experiment, but this one here is a piece that, this right here is actually resin. Like this is a natural amethyst crystal, and I used epoxy sculpt, which is like a two-part epoxy clay that you mix it together, and it's very, very durable. This was just some 18 gauge wire. So that's how thick of a growth. It might have been 16 gauge. I don't know. It might have been this super thick, like whatever gauge that stuff is. In fact, I think it was very thick wire to start with, maybe 12 gauge, that I embedded into the epoxy sculpt. So it's kind of like a polymer clay, but it's two-part, and you mix it and then you can sculpt and use it like polymer clay until it chemically hardens. But this component right here was just made with some resin. And so to electroform, I can use all sorts of different odds and ends and bits and bobbles, and then just so long as I can cover all of it in, I use actually a graphite spray lubricant. I tape off the stone, anything that I don't want the graphite to be on, and then I spray it and let it dry and spray it. I'll do like 2 or 3 coats. And then I like put the wire on it and submerge it in the solution, and it built up to where it looks like it was cast out of metal. And that's what I use electroforming for more than anything, is trying to get the pieces to look like it was lost wax cast, possibly. Just because I love the way that that looks, but don't have the capability to do that right now. So, um, but yeah, so that's an example of electroforming. I also really love it for rings, because it makes them look like so cool. But it's fun. The more techniques and methods and things that you can learn and experience, the better, I think. I'd also, whoopsie, I wanted to think, that one break, that one did break. I was grooving it and it broke. This side. I don't know. I was trying to find, I had made some polymer clay donuts, like donut beads, and then electroformed those after graphiting them. And that was a lot of fun. Like they came out really cool looking. So I'm going to put this wire back where it goes. I'm going to quick 2-minute tidy up. I need those. Okay, well that wasn't quite 2 minutes, but it's a start. So now I'm going to wire wrap this piece here. And I'm going to do this teardrop. Maybe. I'm going to try it on a new, I don't know, I'll do the teardrop. So this is, again, the design I'm about to do is from an Oksana Crafts tutorial. So I'm just finding where I want the wire to sit on the stone. and they're going to be crossing at first. But then I just use my thumb braced against it to curve that wire, because we want to curve it up enough that we can wrap them together in the center. And I kind of like it very, very asymmetrical and off center. So you can kind of test it around a bit. I don't know, maybe this one will shoot for nice and even. It's just that messy, organic, off center stuff comes a lot more naturally to me than like tidy, clean, neat, sharp looking is so hard. Like for me, it's like very challenging. Do what? Randy says it's because I'm a heathen. Well, that's besides the point. Oh, Wanda says, do you ever have Electroform stuff in your booty boxes? We do not. It's I would love to, but I'm able to do like one piece at a time. I did get my hands on a couple of like 20-gallon fish tanks that I thought would be so cool to be able to use for doing big batch electroforming. But currently, I can make maybe one electroformed piece, maybe two electroformed pieces a week. And so we're not really able to do any sort of production. That and sometimes it'll be like it'll be too cold and it'll come out like this. So it's I still have so much more to learn before I can start offering that. Ooh, Yvette's have a puppy in my lap. Okay, yes, using labradorite. This is 18 gauge square wire. It is from Parawire, so it is not marketed as marketed. They aren't saying that it's a particular hardness, but I find it's certainly softer than half hard, but not quite so soft as dead soft. And then I'm also using 18 gauge half round, also by Parawire, also not specifically any kind of stiffness. So now I've taken it off of the stone and I'm going to start trying to get them wrapped. This first wrap is always the trickiest because nothing wants to lay where you want it to. So just coming in with my flat nose pliers can actually be so handy. Or you could even use like a binder clip or something here off the end. And I'm just holding on with my fingers and pulling. And then we can give it a smush. And that way, excuse me, that way it's going to hug much more snug up against the wire. And then we can start building our wraps. Okay, so there's two. I always like continuously test fitting the stone. Hey, Witch and Gnome, how's it going? Hey, Droma, heat is definitely on. Thank goodness, because my hands are cold, but it is loud. I find myself wondering often at the possibility of us putting like inline mufflers, because I have an inline muffler for my vent fan for my lamp working setup. But it's like, man, if I could put that on the ductwork in the basement, that'd be really, really cool, because it would make it so much quieter. Hey, Christina, how are you doing? I love you too. I miss you terribly every day. Okay, so that's a bunch. I'm just going to do 5. 5 is a nice round number. Which is funny because it's not, but I love this design. It's an Oksana Crafts tutorial design. And she does it a lot better. It makes it look a lot easier. It's the furnace. It's the new furnace. It works, but it's loud. Okay. so we can actually come in and there we go. So now from here, we can, in Oksana's, she comes straight up. I like to bring mine around to the back, and I'm going to kind of repeat the same thing that happened here on the front on the back. So I'm bringing it around. Whoopsie. Oh, good grief. Once my hands get cold, they just completely... Drama. Right on. Well, it's yesterday with all the cooking we were doing and the warm temperature, I was like, I think we're going to have to turn the air conditioner on. But instead I just turned on my little clip-on fan. Okay. So here on the back, I'm just going to bring this up like that. And we can use more of this half round wire. And I want to join it together the same way we did on the front. So again, I'm going to pull my stone out. And I'm going to start with just that first wrap, which does not have to be perfect at all. In fact, it doesn't even have to be sort of good. You just got to get it on there, get it pinched, give it the smush. Gotcha, Stephanie. So I've done 3 wraps now. I'm going to give it a smush. And I'm going to bring these 2 close. Excuse me. That's what I'm trying for, Wanda. Thank you. What do you do if you're working on a piece and get frustrated? Do you walk away and come back to it, or push through and finish it? Both. It depends on the piece. Like, sometimes, yeah, walking away is a good idea, but typically I will force myself to finish that project before starting another one of a similar type. Though sometimes you just gotta bury it in the drawer. Oh goodness. Tornado watches and warnings. Oh gosh, Lydia, stay safe. It's a little lot of adventure. Ooh, an alien wearing sunglasses. I can dig it. I'm just gonna lift this out just a bit, and I'm gonna come up and in and snip that tail off. I'm gonna open these up just a little bit more so that we can fit our half round in. And then do that beautiful half round wrapped bail that I'm always seeing folks doing, that I associate so much with Oksana and her wonderful tutorials. I go for a bit and then I give it a smush and give it a squish. Keep going. I do not have enough wire on here for the full bail, but that's okay. We'll get there. Elijah says, I have a hidden graveyard of pieces that aggravated me too much. Some have ended up in my crucible. Yeah. That's, we actually, if something's given me just too much trouble at all, or entirely, I'll take this stone out and put the frame or whatever, like, wire either into my melt bin, like my melt drawer, or into a dud box for like one of our crap boxes. Okay, so now we've gotten it this far. We'll just need to make sure that we can keep it from sliding out of the top. And so to do that, we could perhaps come around this way. And then if we could make it look like it's doubled up, friends with each other. Not quite. Maybe if we like smush it. Still not quite. No. And see, this is where it's like, because I have this expectation of how I'd like for it to look. And now it's all wonky and gross. Yeah, Stephanie says, I miss doing craft shows. I just can't lug tables and not mess around anymore. I'm not going to lie. Randy and I are very worried about if we will be able to sustain the energy levels required for running a booth. But we'll see. Hopefully. So on Oksana's original one, the shoulders kind of came up above the narrow point, but I didn't quite do that on this one. So we're gonna have to figure something else out. So let's ignore the initial problem with the stone keeps sliding out, and just continue on with the bail. So to splice in a new wire, you can see right here I've cut at kind of the halfway mark. So I'm going to come up to here and cut, whoop, and see if we can fit. I want to cut that wire close enough that they'll fit snug in next to each other. You can always take off more wire, but it gets kind of tricky if you want to add some on. Perfect. And so from here, I'm going to continue bringing this around. And I always want to make sure that that splice in is happening on like the inside of the bale. That way it's a lot less likely to get snagged on skin or clothing. Right on. Oh, that's a good idea, witch gnome. Come and hang out and finish up whatever needs finished up. So again, I do a bit, come in and smush it. Ooh, now that's an idea. Okay, so since I boogered this up, I'm definitely going to be twisting it to make it look like, see, nothing happened. Oh, well, not to be this way, I wouldn't recommend Missouri, actually. We get all of the crappy summer weather of like heat and tornadoes and stuff, but then we also get ice storms, but we don't get like nice like snow. Like whenever I lived in Ohio as a kid, we would get like nice, deep, beautiful snow. That's like enough that you can like enjoy the snow. Whereas here we just get like slushy, hateful ice with like maybe a little bit of cute powder on top, but that's just to hide the fact that the black ice is going to kill you because there's ice underneath all of that snow. Do you make more online or at craft shows? Who do you have your website through, and or did you create it yourself? We have our website through Weebly, and they have like a website builder, so you can like drag and drop stuff. So I never had to do any coding or anything like that. I could just drag and drop elements. Excuse me. Drinking some water. I can drag and drop elements to, be what I need them to be, without really having to know anything about building websites. Like it's all like embedded widgets. Yeah. There we go. If I get much closer or much more zoomed in, like if I get the physical camera any closer, I start hitting it, which shakes it and makes it go up pixely. And if I zoom in any closer, then I'll be like wire wrapping over here, which is frustrating for everyone. And it's difficult. It's difficult to say whether we make more online or at craft shows because we didn't really start pushing a whole lot of online stuff until we stopped doing craft shows because of Rona. So it's kind of tricky to be able to compare those two. Now, I am going to say from the beginning, whenever we very first started our business back in 2008, we did have a website and we did do craft shows. And the thing is with a website or any kind of social media or anything like that nowadays is it does take a little bit of time and a whole lot of I'm not gonna, and not even just a little bit of time. It can take up to a year of daily work to start getting consistent sales on your Etsy or on your website or wherever it is that you're selling from. And it's just because to have a good quality community, y'all being here did not happen overnight. Like, we've been consistently, building our YouTube channel and stuff. We've been consistently trying to do our social media thing. And so it takes a long time of hard work and consistent effort and seeing what works and what doesn't work and seeding your community and then nurturing that community so it can actually grow into something beautiful. Whereas at craft shows, when we showed up, first craft show, we made $500 in a weekend, which was phenomenal and very misleading because not all craft shows go that well. But we didn't, like, the people were already there. I didn't have to do any of the promotional work. I didn't have to do I just had to show up and huck my wares. And fortunately, Randy and I were like both, I don't even think we were 20. How old? We were 20. Like 20, and he might have been 21. So we were baby faced, and we totally milked that crap. Because, like, all the people who came through and they were like, oh, what's this? And we'd be like, I'm a big baby person, like trying to go to college. And they'd be like, oh, how sweet. And they'd buy like a $5 necklace that I should have been charging like $50 for. But anyways, but it was amazing. And so if you're first starting out and you have it in your heart that you'd like to do craft shows, I would definitely recommend doing craft shows, because you're being exposed to a crowd of people who are there to buy stuff, and you don't have to worry about algorithms or SEOs or anything like that. So, hey Jax's mom. Hey Cindy Lou. Oh no, Elijah says I've been going 18 months and still don't have constant Etsy sales. Same. Like, we actually didn't really start getting consistent internet sales until we started doing our shop update videos and auctions. So again, just having it, like, if you do shop updates, just be consistent about when you're shop updating, because one week somebody might not have it in their budget, and they might not have it in their budget for the next 6 weeks. But if you get folks who are interested in your work used to seeing that, oh, it's Monday, where's Vaughn's shop update? Then you're a lot more likely to make sales than if it's like random Tuesday at 3 a.m. I'm gonna put stuff on the website and not tell anybody. Like, you've gotta, so much of running a business online is DIY marketing. Oh, well, thank you, Cindy. Stephanie says consistency is my biggest problem. Same. And it's I'm gonna zoom out just a little bit. The best way to be consistent is to be like, okay, I'm gonna post something, like, on one thing. Pick your one thing, pick your day, and post something every week at that day and time. And once you kind of start to get the hang of that, maybe you can bump it up to posting 2 things a week. Until you start to get the hang of that, then you can bump it up to 3. Facebook has their Facebook Meta. It used to be Business Suite, where you can be posting to Facebook and Instagram simultaneously, and you can schedule it. So I actually sit down only twice, sometimes 3 times a week, and get my whole week of daily uploads to 2 social media accounts taken care of in one sitting. Now, the only way that that's possible is to is to be taking pictures of literally every freaking thing so that hopefully some of them are Instagrammable enough or like pertinent, or it's like I can't post posts if I don't have pictures of stuff to post posts about. So that's my biggest challenge, is just having the content. But once you have the content, you can sit down and get it all knocked out, and then you've got the whole rest of your week to just enjoy the fun part, which is engagement, getting to actually talk to people and answer questions and stuff. And so I hope that made sense. Oh, the way that we did our auctions was we would just do them on here, and then have, if somebody like won something in the auction, we would have them email us, and then we would reply to that email with the listing of their winnings that we had posted up on the website. We actually still have all of our old auction live streams up here on YouTube, so you can find them in our live stream playlist. So I'm just doing a little bit of a bend to try to get that to come in. And they worked pretty well. Some weeks everybody would pay, and some weeks only like half of folks would pay. But that's kind of, that's show business, baby, is what Randy says. Oh my gosh, I think I love this. If I could get those two to be joined together. Oh my. I do miss the auctions, but it's the auctions are a whole lot of work for hopefully people will actually buy stuff. Because like we had some folks who would come in, and I'm never gonna be like, I don't recognize you, like please don't bid on the auction. I'd be like, yay, new people. But there was always that fear of like, are they going to pay for this, or are they just having fun? And sometimes we would get folks through who were just having fun. And that's okay. But, it kept somebody else who I know would have, who has paid before, from being able to purchase their stuff. So I'm not so jaded that I'm banning it. But yes, the past holiday season was a really nice. And we like doing it just around the holiday season. Because it keeps us from getting worn out on it, if that makes sense. Is the original by a, I forgot. I'm not sure what you're asking, Patio. They are a lot of fun. But I think they stay fun for me because we don't do them every Friday. Also, we wouldn't have no time to make inventory. We're always auctioning. Pro says, I miss the auctions too, but my wallet doesn't. That's fair. Okay, so if we just pretended like the whole backside doesn't exist, this is the most perfect and beautiful thing I've ever wrapped. But I don't know how to finish the backside. At least in a way that is tidy and matches the rest of the aesthetic. Right? And that's what I love about Oksana's designs, is there's so much room for creative deviation. So I'm doing the untwisted side, or the untwisted square wire first. For no particular reason, really. Oh, yes, the original auction was because the furnace was broken, which is now replaced with a new furnace. I should probably have a try to beef up our emergency fund again auction. But we're putting everything we have into preparing our Anime St. Louis inventory so that the booth, it does not look naked and sad. Because right now, it looks naked and sad. Ooh, yeah, the buy a cab and watch fun rapid. The craft-alongathons, those are a lot of fun. And again, we're not doing any of those until after Anime St. Louis, and then we'll be able to reevaluate our inventory production because I don't have it in my hands, and I don't have enough funds for like materials and like wiring cabs basically to be able to do both. So we had to kind of pick one or the other, and it feels kind of risky putting all of our eggs into the vending basket, but if it doesn't sell at Anime St. Louis, then we'll have it in our booth for Dragon Con, and then we won't have to make as much between Anime St. Louis and Dragon Con, and so we could start doing the craft-alongathons again. Right, Michelle? Excuse me. Oh, wow. Okay. Connie says, I follow a woman who has a YouTube auctions weekly. She has people send in an email with their name, their YouTube name, and their address, or they can't make a bid. She then keeps a spreadsheet. Right on. That's a clever way of going about it. Okay. I don't know how much more of squeezing this is going to make this decision any easier. He just looks so happy with his little arms, like, yay! Hug. Ah, right on, Patty. Yep, we will. It is official. We have paid Dragon Con right before our furnace broke. Ow, goes my wallet. Ooh, Elijah says, do you mind if I would try to do a craft-alongathon? Yeah, probably come up with your own name for it so to avoid confusion. Ooh, and I'm just snipping. There we go. Okay, so on these ones where I've snipped, I'm now going to be coming through with some half round wire. Huh, paper win. Right on. I'm going to open up this little loop part. And this is the part that I feel like I am worst at, like, or could use the most practice. And that is trying to wrap things together. Elijah makes you some... Sounds good. But yeah, the whole concept behind doing our auctions and stuff, other than, you know, hustling for the cash, was to kind of test out a model for other crafters, because there's a lot of folks who it's like is either just not in their heart, or they're not physically able, or they're not geographically able to have craft show or to participate in craft shows. And so it's like, this is a thing that we tested out, and these are the bumps that we ran into. And so, you know, for people to take that model and apply it for how it would work best for them. Okay, Wanda says, how do you find craft fairs and how much does it usually cost? How far in advance do you have to get the booths? How much inventory should you have for it? I think the quantity of inventory should be based more on your display capacity than on individual events, because some events will be good one year and terrible the next, depending perhaps on weather or competing other events in that area. And so the only thing that we as vendors and artisans have control over is our display, whether it's a 6-foot table that we're renting, or if it's a 10 by 10, or for us at Anime St. Louis, we have 2 10 by 10s because we normally have our costumes, but this year we don't have any costumes, so that's a problem. So we're filling up in 2 10 by 10s with just jewelry. So that's what we're basing our inventory production on. Especially if it's just your very first craft show and you have no other craft shows to base anything off of. It's the only variables that are known are How many necklace displays do I have? How many earrings can I have displayed? How many, finger rings? Or do I even carry that product line at all? Do I want to? And then we try to carry, if we can display 50 necklaces, I want to have 100 necklaces minimum. That way, let's say it's a 3 day craft show, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That way we can sell on Friday and Saturday and do really well and still have a fully stocked looking booth come Sunday. And heaven help us if we have, because most of the time, like craft shows all happen in that same good weather period in like April, May, June, sometimes into July, and then late September and early October are where it's like every weekend we used to be gone at different craft shows. And so we'd try to do, again, if we can display 50 necklaces, we'd try to have, you know, 3 or 4 times that. That way, not only could we do well at the first weekend, but we could do well at the second weekend when we only have about 3 or 4 days to try to restock everything. So that's a that's a lot of, so I hope that that answers or gives you a starting point for how much inventory to have. We find craft fairs or conventions or whatever kind of event that you're interested in doing. Just Google craft fair or art show, or if you like vending at motorcycle rallies, or if you want harvest festivals or anything like that, or fairy festivals, just Google the event type, and then you could do near me. I'm gonna have to do this with not half round. I'm butchering this. Why, hey, look at this 26 gauge wire just sitting right over here by me. Hey, 26 gauge wire, how you doing today? I'm gonna give you a snip. Um, I don't know, and it's hard to gauge too, because I mean, the first couple of craft shows we ever did were like in the $20 price range for a booth, like either setting up a 10 by 10 or a table. But that was also back in 2008. So, um, and then it depends entirely on the event. You could be paying anywhere from $50 to 500. But a lot of that just depends on, typically, if you pay more for your booth, it's because the event does a lot of marketing and they're going to get a lot of bodies through the door. And it's the vendors talk to each other, and if we're all having a bad show, you bet your butt cheeks we're going to be complaining to each other and telling all of our friends, don't you come back to this show. Like, I do not recommend that show because, maybe they're charging and acting like they're a big event, but if their marketing department didn't put in the footwork, everybody's going to know about it, especially nowadays with like Facebook groups and stuff like that. Like, event promoters can't sneeze wrong without the whole, universe knowing. So, which is good and bad because sometimes you'll just get people who are hateful who are coming through and start spreading rumors and stuff. So, always use your discretion. I've done 5 or so wraps around just those 2 wires before coming in, and now I'm going to be lashing around all 4 wires. And then how far in advance do you have to get the booths? Some events, I would start checking their websites for vendor application and vendor information the day after the event, and just start checking in on it, because like it depends, again, if it's a really good craft show, there's going to be people who know it's a really good craft show. Oftentimes events will invite back existing vendors, because just like we're taking a chance and a gamble on the events, they're taking a chance and a gamble on the vendors too, because sometimes you'll get folks who are coming through who are just uh there's no nice way of putting it, is there? Jerks, or have like really crappy tacky displays. Like, it's, if you're having a juried art show, you don't want somebody to pass the jury process and then show up and being selling something that's completely different than what they said that they would be. Like, we had done like one place, and this feller showed up, and like his display was as though he just dumped stuff out of the cardboard boxes that he had gotten at a yard sale onto his naked tables. Excuse me, like no table covers. It looked very junky. And this is like a high-end boutique style craft show. So it's like, and he's yelling at folks like Carney style as they're passing his booth, which it's like, he's being disruptive. He would walk up and like talk to people, being like, hey, you should come over and take a look at this while they're shopping at somebody else's table. And it's like, no, you don't do that. I'll kick you in the side of the knee if you come over and try to if you get between me and somebody giving me money while they're shopping at my booth, we're gonna have words. So, but they might not have invited him back, just because they're like, well, you're a bit of a jerk and you kind of smell funny and nobody likes you, so go away. Um, so, any more chainmail earring tutorials coming up? Possibly. I don't know. I just work here. Pro says the gem show in Tulsa is wanting around 1,500 for a 10-foot booth. Ooh, they're proud. Now I don't know what kind of traffic they're going to be getting, but again, if a vending event isn't, if it isn't worth 1,500, nobody's going to come back. Like none of the vendors are. So you kind of have to presume that if the event's been around, and you can search stuff, like people leave reviews, people have blogs. Um, but yeah, you can search stuff and see if it's a reputable event. Ooh, Elijah says, I've had someone do that at a farmer's market in the streets. That's something we're used to rolling. Oh, yeah. It's just, if somebody's not in front of my booth, I don't talk to them. I don't care, like, if we're at a convention or something and the person's a cosplayer, I don't care how cute I think their costume is. I don't talk to them until they're no longer shopping. Like, and that's just. That's Thank you, Laura. She says high school booster shows run about $100 per 10 by 8 or 10 by 10. And that's pretty, like, that's in line with what we have experienced. It's just been so long since we've done just craft shows and not conventions that I didn't know if that was still accurate. So thank you, Laura. Laura says, I just spent the day applying for shows. They are already taking applications for the fall and winter. And honestly, after the first like 2 or 3 years of us vending, we kind of had our circuit down. So it wasn't, excuse me, you're going to be putting in a lot of time and effort and energy in the first year. Oops. But the second year, you're going to have some shows that you enjoyed, and they'll often give priority to returning vendors. Some events will, at least. And so you can kind of, establish your tour circuit, and then, by year 5, if you still enjoy it and you're still doing it, there were a couple of years that we had maybe 1 or 2 new shows, and that was like it. So everything else was stuff that we had already vended, because it's really nice to know what to expect and be familiar with the area. We used to vend in Memphis so much, like we were more familiar where stuff was in that town than where we were here in Missouri. Okay, so I've come through and I've done all the weaving I think I can do to get this joined together. It's not as perfect as I would like, but hey, we're experimenting. Actually, I love it on the front though. Oh my gosh. Oh, well, thank you, Gigi. So I really hope that that's helpful to you guys. And I love answering y'all's questions too. So I do hope that it is helpful to you. Excuse me. Connie says, does the Tulsa Gems show have an entry fee for the attendees? I have no idea. Pro sent me like some promotional material for them, I think. Like just an event listing, but I'd give it a Google, I think. Oh, I think I tied a knot. 7 buckaroos. Well, that's not so bad.
How much is a buckaroo?
Randy goes, how much is a buckaroo? I don't know, honey. I don't even have any buckaroos. Is this like a new cryptocurrency? That would actually be a really cute cryptocurrency name.
Yeah.
Sorry. Ooh, Witchenome says, we are nervous and excited about this next step in our crafting adventure. I've been shocked at the response of friends and family saying that they'll be out to support our first show. Oh, good luck to you, Witchenome. I'm excited for y'all. Y'all are going to do great. And if you don't, there's always the next event.
I thought those were Joey's.
What are Joey's? Baby kangaroos? Is a buckaroo like a big daddy kangaroo? Like how bucks and does with deer? I'm pretty sure it's just dollars though. Like, are you with me? Oof. Hey, Chibi. Says, I've been an antisocial lurker today, but I feel finally decided to let you know I'm here. Well, I'm glad that you're here, Chibi. And it's okay to be antisocial. I want y'all to know that you don't owe me anything. If you want to just sit there and lurk, like, you are not obligated at all. And if you're brand new, like if somebody in here's lurking and they're like, oh, I don't know, like, chime in. The only difference between all the folks who are chatting in the chat right now and you, if you're lurking and you don't know, like, you don't know if you can, pipe up, is that they're piping up. Like, Erica says, I'm being antisocial too. Oh, the bale? That's the bale.
Oh man, now I gotta start crossbreeding deer and kangaroo.
Please don't start crossbreeding deer and kangaroo, Randy. Not to like inhibit your hobbies or anything, but I don't have the yard space for that.
Just gotta trap them in the same cage and go, okay, now keys.
Okay, now keys. Ooh, Wanda says, do you ever sell anything on eBay? Why or why not? I never bothered setting up an eBay, so I don't sell anything on eBay. Our friends with World of Strange have an eBay store, and I think they do pretty good on it. So it's just, I never really got on eBay, and I didn't want to have myself divided between, we had an Etsy shop, we had our website, and we had our booth. And I was like, if something sells, like, I didn't know that if I make one thing, do I list it on our website, our Etsy, and our eBay with the associated Etsy and eBay, or I know Etsy has listing fees. I don't know if eBay does. But then if it sells out of our booth, I now have to go in the middle of the show where I may or may not have signal and remove it off of the website, because what if it sells, simultaneously, like. And so I was like, okay. And then, well, maybe we could do custom listings. And it's like, that's just a lot to try to juggle. Again, I highly recommend to folks that if you start, put your energy into one, maybe two avenues, or have one online presence, like a web, like store front, and then put your effort into having multiple social media accounts so that you can be posting maybe to TikTok. What's the one with the birds? It's not Twitter. Yeah, Twitter. And I'm so old in my bitter little heart. In Facebook and Instagram. Or like, we do most of our stuff here on YouTube because I'm not good at typing up descriptions. I'd rather just be here and be like, behold, 'tis shiny. And then go like this. And then someone give me money. Like, that's step 1, shiny. Step 3, profit. Like, that's my whole business model. I have haven't heard from Jim in ages, Holly.
Step 2, give me $1.
Step 2, give me $1. Oh, jeez. I wonder about him constantly because, I mean, he's our Jim. But I didn't know if his health or if I'd made him mad or if he's tired of me or what. But we figure we're always here if people want to come and hang out again. But I can only hope that he's going on and blessing somebody else's life the way that he blessed us. I can't tell if you're making fun of me, Elijah. Yeah, one selling platform and have everything else funnel into that platform. And then from there, you just have to be consistent. I don't know if I'd recommend doing ads or not. Like, just find out as much as you can about marketing. And oftentimes I'll look at accounts that I admire on Instagram and Facebook, like the platforms that you like using. Find people who do stuff similar to you, who are having a success level or portraying a success level that you would like to emulate. And then just take notes and try it out and see if, posting twice a day works for you. Posting twice a day does not work for me. I can't crap out content that fast. Some people just are amazing and all their pictures look good and I'm not wanna nope. I have to make 20 projects before there's one that I'm like, oh yeah, we could post that online. And then Instagram's like, ha ha, and I'll get 10 likes on it. So right on. Well, thanks for not making fun of me. Oh wow. Pro says, huh?
Can we do no pants Friday?
Honey, I've never once in my life told you to put pants on.
That's not true.
That comes from within you. When did I tell you to put pants on?
I don't know, but I'm sure it was a reason.
It's all from within you and your own pant-loving issues. He won't leave the house in sweatpants, you guys. And not to be biased, he is beautiful in sweatpants.
You're all like, it's my graduation. Please put clothes on.
I didn't even ask you to put clothes on for my graduation.
Yeah,
okay. Once they're on, it is appreciated that you keep them on when we're in public. But honestly, it would have made graduation much more memorable. Yeah. What is the wooden flower with the cab on it? These are from earlier in the live stream. Oh, and I missed a question. This will be available for replay. The name started with a D, I think. Replay. Hey, Deborah. Yeah, it's not like on Twitch where if it goes away after it's done streaming.
Okay.
It's always here for, you'll be able to watch this hopefully 30 years from now. So, but yeah, we did these earlier in the stream. Beep boop. And we will be doing a tutorial on them. And these wooden flowers come in our booty boxes. Boop boop boop. Okay. You and Randy out walking at night on Thursday and it hits midnight. Randy rips pants off. Guess he's going out on midnight on Thursdays more often.
Like what?
Nothing, Wendy. It is a wood piece, yeah. They are the sunflower kind of shape is what we've been sending out in our March kits so far. Kathy says my hubby won't wear sweats or flannel comfy pants to go out in public either. And I respect that, but it's also I do make sure to let him know that it's I don't mind it a bit, honey, because I go outside looking deranged. He did stop me from going to the post office in my hunting hat, purple fur edge, faux fur edged bathrobe, in my green and yellow tie-dye pants. But it was comf, and it was cold outside. Naysayers. Okay, close that. Ooh, that'd be really cool out of leather, too. This is where I'd put my...
It's called fashion.
It's called fashion. Oh, Sabea. You're exactly the kind of enabler that's going to send me down a really dark path. And it's going to be awesome. So there we go. We made a thing, you guys. It only took me 2 hours because I talk nonstop instead of working. Oh, my hands are cold.
Totally forgot to set the timer.
Oh no. Uh-oh. Randy was supposed to be making dinner. That's okay. We'll eat during the what's it called thing? The after party. Which, by the way, if you guys sign up to be a $1 or $5 supporter, either in our Happy Crafter Club or over on Patreon, you get to come and hang out in our after parties. Shameless self-promotion. But yeah, we cut these out on our Glowforge laser. But yeah, I'm digging this though. Let's see if we can make something else right quick. That's half round. The only thing is this square wire does not go very far. Fortunate thing about this design is it doesn't really seem to use a whole lot. Okay, so I'm going to do that same design again real fast. Oh, I don't even know if we'll be having any tea in today's after party. We'll have to see. So again, and just to, in case somebody's wandered in, and wasn't here earlier from whenever I said this, this is an Oksana Crafts design, from one of her tutorials that I can't remember the name of. And of course, like always, I am putting some personal twists on it, but I highly recommend her tutorials, you guys. And this isn't any kind of like collab or sponsored thing. I just really love her work. And whenever I experience creative lulls or I'm in a bit of a rut, I really like to go and watch her videos because all of her designs really, they leave a lot of room for getting kind of wild with it. Okay, so on this one, to avoid the predicament of the last piece that actually made for a really cool, like, I love that. I freaking love that. I think it is her scarab piece. I think you're right, Laura. Yeah, technically we could just do this with one wire, but it's so pretty with two. Okay, so coming in with that gnarled up half round. Whoopsie. It does. It does look like a scarab. Okay, so we got the wire bent over around the core wires, and then I'm gonna fold it. Why am I like this? Vaughn, get help.
What was that?
What was what, my love? I haven't left my house for anything other than the grocery store or the post office in 2 years. Like, except for that one time that we saw other humans.
I took you to White Girl Mecca. I don't want to hear it.
You did. Was it Excalibur? No, that's my dad. Exeter. There were pumpkins everywhere. It was glorious. That was like a million years ago.
It was literally right before Halloween.
Which was also a million years ago. Ooh, right on, Kelly. Onomatopoeia asks, are those pendants more high dollar items in the booth? Yes. Definitely. And I think we may actually be stringing them up on chains, like to sell as necklaces, because we are desperate for necklaces for in the booth. And pendants. Oh no. We did. We went camping for almost 24 hours, but Randy broke both of his wrists.
Yeah,
Well, you sprained them. Huh?
Also, the tornado chased us away.
Yeah. Well, there was no actual tornado. It was just tornado speed winds. It was fine. We lived. No, it's been a good year. I just hope that I'm not like, I don't know, digging in my belly button in public whenever we do a vending event because I've been locked in my house for darn long. Dude, I know, right, Kelly? Like the store made cakes, they're lackluster at best, which I remembered them being like nice. Not anymore, though. Okay, so from here, I'm going to bend that in. I'm going to bend that in. So now since we have it past the, if this is the fullest point, oh gosh, I'm super zoomed out. There we go. Yeah, right? Aw. Well, thank you, Paisley. Shoot, food sounds good right now. Yeah, Randy's making cordon bleus again because they're delicious, and green beans and mashed potatoes.
Right.
Being in public without a mask is a struggle. I'm hyper aware of what face I'm making, so I just wear a mask. It's like I didn't have to like shave my beard for like 2 years because I could just wear a mask out in public. Ooh, oh, I haven't been to a Sam's Club in ages. They were like not harassing, but they wouldn't. Sam's Club would not take no for an answer, which I guess is technically harassing. But it's like we didn't want a freaking Sam's Club credit card. Like we just don't. And it's like, how many times do we have to say? We said no, like 5 times, and I'm probably only exaggerating a little bit, but I mean at least 3 to 5 times. We were like, no, no, thank you. Like just, I mean, because at first it was like, ah, no thanks. And they were like, are you sure we can blah blah blah? And it's like, yeah, I'm sure. No, thank you.
7 times.
It was
That
7
the tipping point.
for you.
Yeah.
Because it was like, and they had 2 different cashiers, like, tag teaming us, being like, are you sure you get all these different perks and stuff too? And we were like, no, thank you.
Well, I just
Like-
had my phone to the credit card, and then it's just I'm just gonna pay it off once. I'm just like, no.
Because we were just trying to buy dog food. That's the only thing we bought at Sam's Club. Like, and so, yeah, we canceled our membership. We were like, I'm not going back. Made me grouchy. But we don't have a Costco or anything. Bums me out. And the heater's back on. Right on, Lydia. We'll see ya. The 3 times no rule. But it was ridiculous. Do what, honey?
I'm like, no means no the first time.
Yeah, right? Okay. So I'm going to use this last sad, scraggly bit of half round. So, after party. Does anybody have any questions about the after party? We were working a job where you had to ask something similar and had to get a no at least 3 times. I hated it. Right? And that's why we try to be polite, at least. Like, no thank you. No thank you. No thank you. But Randy's a very patient person, and it was enough that Randy was starting to get like huffing. And like his cute little empanada hands were making the Arthur fist. Like, oh, dude, if there were any storms last night, we completely slept through it. I mean, I guess everything was okay. Everything looked good in the garden this morning. Wow. Do what, honey?
I worked a few times last night.
Was it storming bad or just raining?
That was pretty bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was dead to the world, man.
I literally
Oh, really? If I die, I die. How fickle my heart and how easy my eyes struggle to find any truth in your eyes. Now my heart stumbles with things I don't know. The weakness I feel must finally show. Okay, I'm going to see if I can't scooch this up just a little bit so that we can get the rest of this wire tucked around. These bodies we will live, these bodies we will die. May you invest your love, you invest your life. These bodies we will live, these bodies we will. No, that didn't really do what I wanted it to do, did it? Right, Adam? We had a tornado warning just south of us. Oh, goodness. Ooh-wee. What's people's plan for food during the break between this and after party? Oh, no. Okay. Ooh, and this is always where it makes me really nervous because I was just going to try folding it over. I don't know if that's wise, though. Oh, really? When was that? Oh, yeah, well, that's different. Can't be like, ding dong. Okay, so I'm on the 6mm barrel size, and I'm actually going to switch over to a stick mandrel real quick. The after party goes from 7:30 roundabout. Sometimes I've been known to be up to 5 minutes late, to at least 9 p.m. And I'd like to say that it gets wild, but honestly, I really like it. Like, it's not particularly wild, but it is fun. These bodies will live. Okay, I've made decisions are being made. Bodies we will die. Will you invest your love? You invest your life. I'm so nervous. Okay. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. It's the final brain sound. Do 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 do. So I figure it, ow, it lodged itself in my flesh a little bit. Smushing those together. I figure it's 4 lengths of 18 gauge wire. This should be fine. We did finish the Cthulhu book. Oh, I love that. And that came together so much faster than the other one. I like it, the after parties that are broken up by the internet cops. I read books and have tea sometimes, and I read them out loud, so it's not like we did that one time.
And we're going to do just now.
Okay, I just figure we'll eat during the.
Tonight won't be done until it starts.
That's fine. So we'll have dinner together in the after party. And you like it? I got 2 pendants made in as many hours. Oh, I thought I had hit the. There we go. Okay. So any last minute questions before we go? Boo-doo-doo-doo, boo-doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo. What's the wire we're using? And I am using 18 gauge square and 18 gauge half round from Parawire to make these ones. So, though I do think that they could be done in round as well, and actually we'll probably, I really hope to do some herringbone stuff today, but I think we're just gonna keep making pendants like this because I got so many pretty labs. And also, shameless self-promotion, we picked these labs out of what was going into the shop update. So Randy picked them out and put them in my drawer for me to find. So if you guys would like to use some of these really nice quality labs that we use in our own work, as well as get your hands on some of our fused glass cabochons, keep an eye out for our shop update that will be coming out on Monday. Or if you're one of our happy crafters, y'all get an email from us as soon as the shop goes live, and you get first dibs on all of our super shinies. So I got 1 lab and 4 gem jars wrapped. Right on, Elijah. How do you get to the after party? If you are in our Happy Crafter Club or have joined it, or if you are one of our $1 or $5 patrons, which are the only tier levels that we have over on our Patreon, you will get either a Patreon notification where we've posted the link, or you will get an email from us to our Happy Crafter Club that will have the streaming link, but it'll just be here on YouTube. It's just an unlisted video, so unless you have that link, it won't show up. Going to make Kraft mac and cheese. Ooh. You can double the cheese packet? Connie. Randy, did you know that you can double the cheese packets on Kraft mac and cheese? By just using 2 of them?
Well, that seems...
Extra cheesy. That'd be pretty good. He's not as impressed as I am, but I'm very impressed, genuinely. I need to figure good and then start eliminating items on the list of to-dos. Right on, what you know. That's a good plan. Super durable, Propool. Have you had any issues with rings made from the silver-plated Parawire turning people's fingers green? I have not, but a lot of it has to do with the wear and tear of the person wearing it. Do they like wear it while they're gardening, where maybe fine grit could be wearing away at the enamel? I know that the Parawire that I've worn over the years, like these, have Parawire in the ear holes, and I'm super sensitive, and they still don't turn me green or irritate me. So I haven't had any problems. If you're worried about it, Parawire does have a silver filled option, which has this very thick silver plating on it, and that way you don't have to worry about it turning people green, and it will oxidize and behave just like sterling silver. Random question, are you ever going to tie-dye your own shirts and make matching jewelry to sell it as a set? That's a really good idea. I used to make our own tie-dyed skirts for like in our booth, but it was, that tie-dyeing is a lot of work. Like if you have a proper station that's like set up for it, and you don't have to like try to not tie-dye your own kitchen sink with like your food while you're, it's a big process and an undertaking. So I don't know. Okay, I don't know if in this home we will undertake doing our own tie-dye, but that's a really cool idea. Dangerously cheesy. Okay, how long does it take to get the invite if you just join? It'll be, if you do over on Patreon, it'll be immediate. Like you don't have to wait at all. And yeah, it should be pretty immediate on the other one as well. If you sign up on our Happy Crafter Club. Etsy page again. We don't currently sell on Etsy, but our website is backtoearthcreations.com. Right on, Anne. Okay, I'm gonna go. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. I had a really good time chatting with y'all, and I will see you guys in the after party. And if you aren't able to make it to the after party, we will see you in Sunday's tutorial, streaming at noon Central Standard Time. So until then, you guys, happy crafting. Bye.